All right, so you decided that you want to take the exam online, and here's what you need to know about that. So first, you have to use Google Chrome. You can't use any other browser. Safari or anything else will not work. It has to be Google Chrome. Now, before you take the exam, you're going to have to go through a computer compatibility test to make sure that everything's working correctly. What you don't want is that as you take the exam, the machine reboots, does an update, or does something. Because if that happens during the exam, your results are wiped clean, and you have to do the exam over again. Number two, your face has to be exposed. So you can't wear any hats, can't be wearing a hood while you take the exam, no shades, no mask, no earbuds, no earphones, nothing. Nothing could be, on your head other than your glasses, in your ears or anything like that. The proctor has to see your face at all times. And your hands. Your hands have to be above the desk, whatever your work station is going to be. It has to be there at all times. Number three, food and drinking is not permitted. So while you're taking the exam, you can't snack on anything, you can't be sipping on anything. So number four, you can't leave. Once the exam starts, you can't get up from your workspace, go open the door, go to the bathroom, let the cat in or whatever. You can't do that. Make sure you're taking care of all of that before you start the exam. Number five, now this is important. You can't be mouthing, you can't speak, you can't whisper anything. So the proctors are going to be watching you. So you can't, if you're sitting there, you can't read the questions out loud. I know some people like to do that. You can't do that because in their mind, someone could be listening to the question. You may have a device on you that they can't see that can actually give you the answer. Kind of like in, casino, when they're playing the card games and the guy had a little pen and is tapping on his leg.
And that's just what these hustlers look for. They cruise from casino to casino looking for weak dealers the way lions look for weak antelope.
Something like that. They don't want that. So you can't whisper, you can't mouth anything. You just have to be there, take the exam, and just be silent and do so. So number six, they're going to allow you to use a scratch piece of paper so you can make, do your calculations and make notes or what have you. At the end of the exam, they're going to make you destroy it. So you're going to have to rip it up in front of them to make sure that you don't have any information there that you can share with someone else that's going to be taking the exam. They want that information all confidential. They don't want you to share anything. Number seven, you are not allowed to take screenshots or record what's going on with the exam. They won't allow you to do that. I think that's probably why they're making you use Google Chrome. There must be something in there that will prevent that or will notify the proctor if you're trying to do so. So you can't do that. Now, the proctors are going to be watching you the entire time. I mean, the entire time. Okay? So here's what happens. If there's an interruption, let's say somebody comes into the room, they will actually pause your exam. They're going to pause it. They're going to stop it. So you'll be a black screen, and that's it. Okay. Once that person leaves, then at that point they'll resume. However, this will be done within reason. If they feel that whatever the interruption is, you're not correcting it, then at that point they will just turn the exam off and it's over. And that's it. Now, it's not clear on whether or not if that happens, if you have to pay for the exam again, or if they're going to allow you just to, re-register and take the exam one more time. I'm assuming they're going to make you pay again because in person, that's typically what they would have done. But just understand that. We know things happen and sometimes there's emergencies. There is going to be a proctor there. So if you're whispering, if you're making any movements, if it looks like anything other than you just reading the question and answering the question and taking the exam, the proctors will be pausing and will be watching everything. So there you have it, guys. That's everything that you need to know if you're going to take the exam online. And honestly, it makes sense. I think it's appropriate. I think it's a good protocol for you to be able to, to take the exam in the convenience of your own home. I think that's pretty easy rules to follow. To be honest with you, if you actually take the exam in person, there's actually it's more strict as far as what you can wear in the whole nine. So I'm so happy that the state and PSI is now doing this for the students, so that way you can now get tested in a timely manner. And So once you've done with the exam, your score is going to show up right on the screen. Okay, so you'll know whether or not you passed or failed. Now, the question that it's not listed and PSI hasn't answered yet is, well, how are they going to get the license to you? Okay, because usually when you go in person, they take your picture and then they issue your license right then and there. I think what they're going to do, and this is what they were doing with some of their satellite sites, is that once you pass, they're going to have you go to one of their 4 main locations throughout Mass, and there they'll issue you your printed license. Or they may mail it to you, depending on the picture that you submitted with your application. They may include that as your photo ID and then just mail you the license. So that's a question you're going to have to ask the proctor once you've completed the exam. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe to get more updates. Until next time, guys.